Probably.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And he can
Facebook.
still do it.
That dude is like 90 whatever, and he has hotter moves than I do.
So
And
after
The only way
going
to
to
make Dick Van Dyke hotter is to put him in an Aquaman.
So after seeing Deadpool, I come home to the Disney 60, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a Disney movie. And they're talking about how great Disney World is, and I'm like, I got images of, that montage. Like, okay, I need to get me to Disney World.
One of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my life is called Watcher in the Woods.
Right.
I saw that.
If you've never seen that movie will absolutely scare the out of you. It is also Betty Davis's last movie. I highly recommend it. It's a Disney film, whatever that means. But yeah, if you've never seen Watcher in the Woods, it came out around the same time they did Something Wicked This Way Comes, which is also a scary ass movie.
Yeah.
But Watcher in the Woods is definitely, and if you can get past some of the quirky 80s movie magic, but it's still a frightening movie.
Wait, wasn't she in Lake Placid? That was after the 80s.
Jennifer Lopez?
No. I thought you said Betty White.
No, not Betty
Oh, it
White.
was Jennifer
Betty
Lopez.
Betty Davis.
No, Betty Davis.
Betty Davis.
Betty
I'm
Davis,
sorry.
Betty
I got my
White.
Bettys
Betty
mixed
White.
up.
What?
Bettys.
They're all
look
such
the same to
Bettys.
me. Betty Rebel.
Strap it up.
Sorry.
So, Mikey, you and I were talking, and you said that you were not caught up with your television
I
at all.
am not completely caught up with Flash or Arrow.
So I'm going to actually put this out to the audience, because I know we got some TV watchers out here. Yes? Yes?
Yeah.
What's everybody watching? Anybody?
Yell it out.
Glory? What you watching? Do we have any Walking Dead fans? Man seeking. Yeah, you just lost a half a nerd cred, sweetie.
You're still cute in your Mario costume.
we love you. And by the way, I'm still wanting that guy's name, just so you know.
Arrow. We have DC Legends of Tomorrow. Agent
Since
Carter.
eight.
Watches Legends of Tomorrow. It's
I watched.
She doesn't even watch TV.
I watched the first episode of Legends of Tomorrow, and I was like, I'm not sure this is for me.
It was
I'll
not
try it again.
good.
I'll try another episode.
I'm going to watch. Well, see, we have a nerd three episode rule.
Yeah.
And honestly, and actually, I think that's when they made the episode 3 a two-parter, just to get past the 3 episode rule. And I'm like, oh man, can I? So I'm playing the PS3 over here.
That's a good sign.
As this is playing, and I'm like, you know how I feel about the costumes as a whole. They're just,
I know.
The Atom is an insult in my opinion.
White Canary, is that right?
Oh, her costume is horrible.
Oh my god.
Considering what she came from, yeah.
It's like they bought a black corset and then spray painted it white.
It
and then
does
put
look
some
spray painted, too.
leggings on her and then spray painted those white. And then found some thrift store boots. Not that I can say anything because I'm currently wearing thrift store boots. But they got some thrift store boots and then painted those white. And then they were like, "Oh look, it's a white canary."
But
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
for as bad as everything on that show is, and I mean everything, if you were to walk onto that show right now as a character in the DC world to add to their legends,
A DC character.
to add to the legends, which is basically a B character for the most part, who would you be?
I'd be Ambush Bug.
That was going to be
Ambush
my answer.
Bug.
Ambush Bug, I mean, that's a fun character that would have a lot of humor added to the show.
I am more of a Marvel
And he
than a
means
DC,
that.
but I would go with Hawk Girl just because I find her
I
character
said,
kinda
and she's
interesting.
already on the
She's
show.
already on the show.
Yeah, but she
Although-
could do it better. Sandy could do it better.
Well, anybody could do it better. The costume, I will say,
Her costume's not
the
too
choice
bad.
of doing Kendra instead of Shira Hall was just abysmally bad. Her acting is just.
Like I said,
I think she's
could do it
acting out the
better.
role that they're giving her, which is.
But Hawk, she's pretty.
But
They
that's
need
what-
a
Actually, she's kind of
redhead.
buck-toothed in my opinion.
She
But
gets paid to do that. She doesn't get paid to put forth
Although-
whatever and whatever and whatever. And
I-
she doesn't get paid to be a comic book. She just gets paid to be an actor.
I will say that the graphics on Legends is so much better than what they're paying
Because
for the
that's what
graphics on
happens when you
Flash.
get people
Yeah,
who
they-
don't
they-
care. They just get paid.
They did a lot of better special effects.
Yes,
I know
yes.
said on episode 1.
What about you,
Sorry,
Mikey?
I'm done.
If I could walk in and
you
not
walk
be
in-
Ambush Bug because somebody picked it,
Yeah.
probably somebody. Man, I would want to be Booster Gold, but I'm not built to be Booster. I'm
Yeah.
not built to be maybe Blue Beetle.
Actually, Booster Gold would be so funny in that group.
I know.
Oh wow, he caused so much
I'm more built
problems.
to be Blue Beetle than Booster Gold.
I actually like Blue Beetle.
Original Blue Beetle.
I like.
You know?
I like.
Yeah, that's probably who I'd pick. Why am I only thinking blue? Blue Devil. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I guess he is thinking only blue.
I wanna be Girl Red Tornado.
What about him?
That would actually be
Yeah.
Plastic Man with that
I
crew.
would never.
They would. What's his name? Captain Cole would freeze his ass immediately.
You know what we need to do? We need to rip off Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I wanna be Girl Red Tornado.
Is that going to be the name, Girl Red Tornado?
No, but I want to be the girl version of Red Tornado.
Yeah, but I want
Henceforth,
that to be
it
the
is
name.
Girl
I would call her Red Tornado.
I want to be
'cause-
Girl Red Tornado.
I want Hot Girl to say, Girl Red Tornado. What?
So now, that being said, what do you think about us getting a hang on, wait. I just realized what I'm getting ready to say and who am I getting ready to say it to? So that being said, how you feel about the Red Tornado on Supergirl?
Well, as far as the Supergirl is concerned, as long as the Red Tornado isn't wearing an oven mitt with a skirt, it's fine. As long as
I love
it's not-
opinionated women.
As long as it's not made out of a Teflon pan, it's fine.
Oh, please tell us how you really feel.
Like,
If I get her started on costuming, oh
yeah.
my god.
No, seriously, have you guys seen
Although, did you notice Stephen Amell?
I mean, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, hi. If you guys like Supergirl,
Here we go.
but I don't.
Here we
and,
go.
And if you liked it, please tell me that you don't like the costume because it looks like an oven mitt with a skirt on it. Yeah, see? The girl with the ears back there, she's cute, she knows. So, like, and you don't have to be cute to know that. Like, you just look at the TV screen and you can tell. But when you put forth that much money and that much effort into something, I feel like the costume should signify that. You know what I mean? And like, I can go out and get a morph suit, a blue morph suit, and put on a red skirt. And say I'm
She's
Supergirl.
turning into a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger? What?
It's horrible.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I could
She's
be a
already
Triceratops
pink.
girl.
She's gonna be the pink
right? Right?
She's going to be Girl Pink Tornado.
Wait, was the Triceratops pink? Right? No, yellow.
Yellow.
Too yellow, yeah.
What was the pink one?
Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
The girliest of all dinosaurs.
It's a pterodactyl. I have large
So,
wings.
a couple of weeks ago, we were having a discussion about gaming.
Thing's got wings.
That's a terrible segue. God, that's a god-awful segue.
That really was.
But I'm going to make it happen anyway. Because Tony told some of the funniest gaming stories ever. They were
Gaming stories?
They were awesome.
Yeah.
So, and Mikey missed it. So,
Which one do you want to talk about?
Do you have
Actually,
to roll for it to actually get to tell it?
I'm going to actually flip the script on you a little bit.
Oh, go ahead.
Because last time we did, what role made you cry?
Uh-huh.
What role made your DM cry?
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Right.
She's getting prepared. I love it.
Are you asking her when she was George? Is that what you're asking? For those of you not familiar, I have a song called Best Game Ever. And it's all about the guy named George in a gaming group who everybody hates. And so they repeatedly kill him. Well, his characters. They kill his characters. They don't kill him. That would be illegal.
That's really sad. Wait.
I've
like
had somebody in my
his fellow-
gaming group
his
like
fellow
that.
Players kill him?
Oh, yeah, they kill the
Oh,
hell out
that's
of him.
so sad.
Over and over and over.
We all have a George.
No.
Yeah.
If you're in a
Exactly.
gaming group and your gaming group doesn't have a George, it's because you're the George and you don't know it.
In 7 C's, that's called foul weather Jack.
Wait a minute. So, yeah, I'm just saying. So what you're saying is you're in a gaming group and there's no George? Is that what you're saying?
No, we do. It's called
just-
foul weather Jack, and basically what happens, it's a 5-point background that
You
you
said
get.
7 C's. It means you're excited for the Kickstarter.
This is why geeks get together. They can talk
No.
about anything.
You're not?
Dude, have you played that playtest? It's horrible.
I have not played the playtest, but I am friends with one of the guys on the design team.
Well, you can tell the guy on the design team that it's terrible.
It's terrible.
It is. It's bad. It's so bad because you like. Okay, so check this out. Tabletoppers. Ready? Are you ready for this? Okay.
On your mark, set, boom.
So you get a weapon, but it doesn't matter what it is because if I beat you with my water bottle or this microphone, it does the same damage.
Why are you tearing up my microphone?
So if I have a long sword or a tiny little throwing knife, I damage you for 1 point with either one.
Does it cost different experience points to get?
No. No. So
How
you-
many tabletop and role playing
Yeah,
gamers
you
do we
can
have in the
literally walk in
crowd?
and just go, I have a weapon, like, and beat somebody with it, and it's the same as the guy who has a shield, as the guy who has Maul, as the guy who has Morningstar, as the guy who has Hammer, as the guy who
Why is she pointing at me?
The guy who's hitting you with Supergirl's outfit.
Anyway, so the role that made my GM cry.
Wow, we got back there.
So the role that made my GM cry was we played Seven Seas for 5 years, and I somehow broke the world so that the only place in all of Thea that has oranges is my character's cell.
It's like the Ghostbusters episode where they get rid of all the chickens.
Yeah. The only place in all of Thea in our world that you can get oranges is at Gwen Teague's Inn called the Sundries. And that's in Luton, Avalon, for those of you who would like to know. If you'd like to use it in game, let me know. You can get on my Facebook. I'll give you all the information about Gwen. She's fabulous. And she decided that in her inn she wanted to have orange-scented linens for her people who came to her inn. And by doing so, she broke the world of oranges.
Nice.
So the only place you can get an orange is at her inn.
Mr. Mason!
The character that I had that made a GM cry?
Yeah. Or the role that you made that made you cry.
So I was known in gaming groups for having...
And does
They
this
always
game
thought that
involve
I had
cats?
they always thought that I had the good character. And the reality is that I would just take whatever that I had and I would just play it. So I'd have one time I wanted to play and they didn't want to roll me. The DM didn't want to roll me a character, so I sat down and played one of the characters' magic sword that he had found that was sentient. And I said, well, can I have a split personality? And can you roll randomly for which personality comes out? And it was just a fun
I just see this.
And
Could you imagine being that GM with him?
And I'm
I'd
sitting,
like to
and I'm,
talk with you sometime.
yes, absolutely. And I'm sitting there and at the table and I'm passing notes to the GM. And that's how I'm communicating.
Were
And
they
he's
like the
passing
little
it to the
football
guy
ones?
who's got the sword. This isn't the one that made the GM cry, but this is the kind of stuff that I would do. And it took them most of the game. They kept asking, when Mikey going to come in? I said, no, I'm just having fun listening. If we don't get to my introduction, that's fine. So they got mad at my characters, and so we were playing Palladium Fantasy Role-Playing System by Kevin Ciambietta, the creator of Rifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were playing that.
Which you
and
can find at Metagames Unlimited in Springfield, Missouri on East Sunshine? Did I say East Campbell?
Metagames is awesome. They have a magic card chandelier.
Oh, that
Yes,
does
they
sound
do.
awesome. So, does it have a Black Lotus centerpiece? Anyway, so they were mad and they said that I always had the good character. So I said, fine, you guys roll me a character. You make me a character. So they rolled me a character and they made me the lamest class in Palladium, which is a healer. And the only two things I had going for me, they are important. And the only things I had going for me were that I was a healer, I was smart, and had an unholy high speed. But they also made me fat.
So it's based on true life.
So, and then I was this guy named Hawk who had feathers in his hair. In Buck Rogers. So, but then I decided that I wasn't. But he was also rich. So that I decided he was an innkeeper. His money was tied up in an inn, so I didn't
So
actually
you
have
were
any.
a rich, fast, fat guy.
And I had a tattoo of a ladle. And they said, why? I said, what more?
Is
can a man
anybody else
want than a
confused
full
about the
ladle?
tattoo?
You know? And he would spout advice, right? And so his name was Hiram Black, and he owned it in. And the way they got me in the game was the DM immediately took the wealth from me. He burned the inn to the ground. So now I'm on a vengeance mission as this fat, fast, smart healer with a tattoo of a ladle. And I'm spouting all these aphorisms, these bizarre, live in a place and eat of its onions, you know? And they're like, what does that mean? You tell me. And I suck at combat, so I just sat out of combat. And the way healing worked in Palladium, it's not like I'm casting healing spells. I had to lay on hands. So I sucked at combat, so I sat out of combat. They wanted to make me a sucky character? Fine. They're getting healed after the battle. Guess you can't resurrect.
That is Mikey Mason, ladies and gentlemen.
And so I just spent the whole time throwing up this stuff I would make up when the sun shines. And this is stuff I got from a Matt Groening Life is Hell calendar. When the sun shines and it rains, there is a party in hell. What does that mean? You tell me. the end of the game, all the characters loved Hiram, and the DM hated Hiram because